George R. R. Martin updated us on Winds of Winter, and also that he's very disappointed in us. But also, I have a lot of House of the Dragon news, or a lot of exciting House of the Dragon news. First, let's talk about George and Winds of Winter, because I know a lot of you are very curious about that. He basically said, yeah, I know it's late, but also, could you not? So here is what he said on a podcast hosted by Idris Elba and his wife Sabrina.
I get that Winds of Winter, the 6th book, is late. I can get 100 good comments, but there's still gonna be a few fans out there who are going to remind me of it on my blog or whatever. I say, Happy Thanksgiving, and they say, never mind Thanksgiving, where's the book?
George R. R. Martin is tired of our shit, but he's also tired of us being tired of his shit, which just makes him more tired about the shit he's getting for being tired of our shit. It's just a vicious cycle. I mean, I remember back in the day, not too long ago, where we could actually comment on George's not a blog posts, and he would respond every once in a while, and we'd get a cool nugget of Game of Thrones, A Song of Ice and Fire, facts or whatever. Super, super cool. But then we have what I call the 5%. The 5% are gonna ruin every fucking fandom, every nice thing. They're just, because they just can't control themselves, or they weren't taught, basic human decency, fuck it up for everyone else. They're the people we talk about when we say, this is why we can't have nice things. That 5%. But now you can't comment in the not a blog post by George, at least a majority of them, because he got sick of that. He got sick of people constantly sending nasty comments to him and, going after him. And so he was like, yeah, fine, fuck it. No, I'm just gonna post my stuff. Bye. I think people forget that he was doing them a favor by responding to their comments on his not a blog, and that it wasn't the other way around. But George wants us to know that even though we may hate him, he loves us.
I love the fans, although I do think Twitter and the internet and social media has brought out a viciousness I never saw in the old days. The love and hate are very close, particularly with comic books or any established franchises.
Every fandom has its own toxicity. I actually, based on the fandom, are the insults and critiques I will get, and it's pretty funny. I also love the thing people like to say, no one hates Star Wars more than Star Wars fans, which is just so sadly true. And you're gonna see it again. So people that stuck around, are the more dedicated fans to Game of Thrones, A Song of Ice and Fire, but there are a lot of people that just watch Game of Thrones, A Song of Ice and Fire videos when a show in that franchise is on. So with Game of Thrones, obviously they were more invested. It ends, they go about their thing. Now with House of the Dragon starting again, you're going to have a lot of those casual fans come back in. And within those casual fans, there's a lot of that 5%. So good luck and be careful going into the comment sections of Game of Thrones, A Song of Ice and Fire videos as soon as House of the Dragon gets close to starting. May God have mercy on all our souls. So anyways, yes, George acknowledges, okay, Winds of Winter is late. Yes, I get a lot of crazy negative stuff from fans, but I still love them, I understand them. But I also understand that you can love your fans, but need to have a barrier between you because, the psycho ones. Which, hey, speaking of psycho fans, let's talk about Ryan Condal, the showrunner for House of the Dragon, who had to interact with a lot of unhinged fans who accosted him or found his private address and sent him weird-ass handwritten letters. Also, when he was filming House of the Dragon, and he wasn't, currently working, he'd just be around the city that they were filming in, fans would come up to him and let him know that they knew exactly where everybody was staying. So yeah, now Ryan has additional security.
History does not remember blood. It remembers names.
Ryan Condal said the goal of House of the Dragon is to make it a worthy successor show to Game of Thrones and to satisfy the fans of Game of Thrones, but also the longtime fans of George and the A Song of Ice and Fire series. For the show, he said that they are way into post-production, so they're working on picture locks. They know exactly what they're using so that they can start to do the audio mixing and music. Also the visual effects, because there were some janky visual effects in the trailer for House of the Dragon.
No, God! No, God, please, no! 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 No!
He said they are definitely still working on dragon CGI, and even the ones that were finished-ish, they're still polishing, so don't worry, there's plenty of time for the CGI to look amazing. He actually said one of the fun things about being in post-production is every time he does checkups on the work people are doing, it looks better and better, so it's cool seeing it come to life. Ryan's pitch, by the way, for watching the show was the best thing ever, when they were like, oh, talk about the show, and he's like, oh yeah, I think it's pretty good. I'm excited for people to watch it. Pretty good? Man, don't hype your shit up too much. Final two things from Ryan Condal. He is happy that the premiere date is out because he had known it for months, and also he thinks it's pretty cool that there are a lot of people hyped for the show before it even premieres, because when you're a showrunner in Hollywood, usually you have to get interest after the show premieres. Or that's when you get it. So to have a rabid fan base before, he said, is really cool. Finally, season 2 of House of the Dragon. So there are rumors that they are currently writing for season 2 of House of the Dragon. We already know Casey Bloys said, yeah, there's most likely going to be a season 2, but they weren't confirming anything, and honestly, it would be really stupid if you did season 1 and ended where I know they're going to end. What? Talk about really pissing off fans if they don't do a season 2 of House of the Dragon. Yikes. But unfortunately, if they are just writing it now, it might mean we are quite a ways away from season 2, so that is a bit of a bummer. Okay, there's some Game of Thrones, A Song of Ice and Fire news. Like, subscribe, come back for more Game of Thrones, A Song of Ice and Fire, sci-fi, fantasy, comics, stuff like that.